week 1 April, just got 3 lots of seeds to sow this afternoon. I've got some French breakfast radish for the next batch. I'm planting some celery, which is a Hadrian F1 variety, and some more carrots, early nonce 2s. So I've actually got the first batch of radishes. They're ready for eating now. I'll eat some of those tomorrow. And that's the first batch of carrots, and they're progressing quite well. So what I'll do is I'll do the radishes first. I'll try and get 4 seeds in each little module, and that'll give me, oh, what's 3 4s?
12.
4,
8,
12, 4, 3, 36. 36 radishes. That should be a nice little batch. I'll try and get just a few in each one, and then I'll put the whole module into the ground when they've germinated. Spread them out a bit. That will do. Just cover those over. Chuck them in. That's it. Give those a firm down. So these should germinate in sort of 4 to 7 days. And they should be ready in 4 or 5 weeks really. So once they've germinated, I'll take them out of the modules in whole and put them straight into the soil. A bit more there. Make sure I label it so I don't forget what they are. So that's those done. So I'm going to do the carrots next. Sprinkle them lightly over the surface. And what I'll do is I'll prick them out and use the small ones for salad. And we'll let some of them grow on and hopefully get a crop to follow the other crop over there. So these are quite a long rooted variety, the early nonce 2. Give them light covering and they should germinate in 15 to 16 days. That's it. Yeah. Right, make sure I put labels in there. So I'll leave these in the greenhouse to get germinated. Once they're germinated, I think I'll chuck them outside.
Yeah.
Tiny little celery seeds, and they take 14 to 21 days to germinate, and they need to germinate around 15 degrees Celsius. So what I'll do is I'll take these indoors and put them into the propagator. Probably don't need that many, and these will be available from August onwards probably. And this variety has got a very tall stem and is supposed to be disease resistant, so hopefully they'll give us a good crop. So I've covered them, because they're such tiny seeds, just need a very, very light covering. Hardly any at all really. Very, very light covering. Give those a firm down and they can go into the propagator. That's it, and I'll prick them out once they're ready to come out the propagator. So I've got some purple spring onion and poster onions grown from seed. I sowed these all on the 1st of February. So they're ready to go out. So what I'll do is I'll hoe this bed a little bit first. Because we do a no dig system, there's not too many weeds on the bed actually. We composted it during the winter and we'll get these planted out. Right. Keep them in their little groups. Plant about 4 inches apart should be okay. Nice little root system on those. Nice little bunches of spring onions. I've been reading about onions grown from seed. Some people say trim them, and some people say don't trim them. What I'm going to do, I'm going to trim these ones and leave those untrimmed, and I'll see at the end of the growing season which ones produce bigger bulbs. So little experiment. Let's see how they go. One row of spring onions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and a bit rows of Ampedosa onions. We'll see how they go. Be interesting to see how the ones that have been trimmed compared to the ones that haven't been trimmed. What I'll do is I'll take just the bottom leaves, tidy these up a little bit, the globe artichokes. Just take the bottom leaves off, it stops them rotting on the ground and attracts snails as well, slugs. So we'll just go around and trim them all up a little bit. I can put a bit more energy into producing artichokes then. Next I'll go and get some bark. Get a bark delivery outside the allotment plot, so I'll go and get some bark and I'll mulch all the artichokes with some bark underneath, just to keep the weeds out and the slugs and snails away. We're quite lucky to get a delivery of chipped bark here. It's quite useful. So we use these 7 bags we've got today for mulching the globe artichokes and mulching the currant bushes. Very useful. Put a bit of a layer underneath of the loganberries. And we also use this for our paths, which we top up quite regularly when we get a delivery. And I'll top up, I'll mulch the gooseberries and the black currants as well. Those mulch. I've got half a bag left, so I'll put that on top of the compost bin. That'll help rot the green stuff down. You need carbon in your compost bin to help rot things down. An update on the seedlings that I've already got going, just to let you know where we are. So these are the next batch of lettuces, Lolo, Rossos and Little Gems. Planted these on the 25th of March, and they need transplanting now, so I'll be pricking those out this afternoon. And we've got some petunias, tiny little things. I'm going to prick those out this afternoon as well, because we can get them into a hanging basket at some stage. The golden purslane needs pricking out as well. That was sown on the 25th of March as well, so that's about a week's growth. Lovely colour. Peppers. Got 3 types of peppers on the go. We've got the Romano, which is a bell pepper. We've got the California Wonder, which is a bell pepper. Sorry, this is the bell pepper. These are long peppers. The California Wonder is a bell pepper. The Romano is a long pepper, the long type of pepper. And then we've got little chilies as well, hot chili ones. These have only been planted for about 3 weeks, sown about 3 weeks ago. And they're coming on really well. They just started to get their second leaves now, so they're doing really well. But the other 2 are doing really well. So they won't go into the ground, into the greenhouse, until sort of middle of May now, and they won't go outside. I'm going to plant on the plot itself, sort of end of May, beginning of June, if I can get them outside. But once the weather improves, I can put them into the greenhouse and leave them there. So at least they'll be out of the way basically. Tomatoes, doing well. We've got these ones are for the greenhouses. So we've got 2 greenhouses, so we'll plant some to greenhouses. So these are the money makers, which I planted on which I sowed on the 2nd of March. So they're doing quite well now, really. And we've got little cherry ones. These were sown at the same time. They're coming on really well. I've now planted the outdoor batch, so they're in the propagator at the moment. I've actually taken a few out this morning, and hopefully in the next few days we'll be taking those out of the propagator and getting them going. So these are for the greenhouses, and the ones that I've got in the propagator at the moment will be for outside. These are the basils. Got 2 types of basil here, sweet basil and a cinnamon basil. They're doing quite well. You can see they're just starting to get their second little leaves coming through now. And these are the early long purple aubergines. So they're starting to develop quite well, starting to get their second leaves. But they won't go out into the greenhouse either till sort of May, or outside from sort of mid-May. So we've got plenty of time to keep these in and out of the cold at the moment as well. So hopefully they'll be able to go into the greenhouse once the weather starts improving. So all the herbs are coming to life now as well at this time of the year. We like to have some herbs near our back door so we can use them when we need them. Mint is doing really well. I like to have a nice mint tea occasionally. Peppermint, nice peppermint tea. We've got a black variety as well of mint in there, and some marjoram and some sage. We've got a nice oregano plant, which will cut off a few leaves and chuck them into the bolognese. Is lovely. And some red sorrel, which is lovely in salads. Just pick a leaf off every now and again when we want to and use it. So spring is in the air really. This is lemon balm. We lettuce into the greenhouse, so they'll be ready hopefully before we need to use the greenhouse. So we've got some little gems growing there, some low rossos and some winter density. So we've got what, 5, 10, 13 lettuces there, so that should keep us going for a while until the next batch comes through in February. So was that about a month ago now? So they're developing quite well. What I'll do is I'll pull out some of them once they get to a decent size and use them for salads, and let some of them develop into larger ones. Bought some more onion sets because we're going to put some in our family's gardens as well. So got those in compost just to give them a bit of a start with the roots. That's another batch from Wilkinson's for £2, not bad. So there's quite a lot of onion sets in there, and we've got some carnations. Got 1 flower. They can go into the garden at some stage, or into a pot. Sunflowers are doing good. These are the giant sunflowers which we planted about 2 weeks ago, so they're developing quite well. They won't go out into the plot for quite a while yet, so we might have to repot those at some stage. Cauliflowers are looking quite healthy, so I think they'll be going out into the plot about mid-April. They're nearly ready. And these are just a bunch of flowers here. So what we've got cornflowers, Californian poppies, wallflowers and sweet peas. We like to make our own sort of hanging baskets up, so a lot of this will go into the hanging baskets. And we've got some marigolds as well here. So these were planted on the 6th of March. Not doing too badly. I've repotted up the Brussels and the mammoth red cabbages. So I've repotted some of them, and they've produced new leaves since I've repotted them about a week ago, so they're doing really well. What I do is I'll water from the bottom. So I keep them in containers, and just every time it dries out completely, after a few days I'll add some water at the bottom and let it soak up from the bottom. So these are spares. You never know what to do with spares. That's the problem. You grow so many seeds, you can only use, I mean, I'll see if anyone down the allotments wants any. I just hate throwing them away after I've germinated and grown them, really. It's always a dilemma. You always end up with too many. These are the rockets. They've come on really well, and that's about a week's growth there. So what I'll do is I think I'll just plant the whole module into the ground in one lump. Same with the radishes. They can go out into the plot soon, next week or so. As with the chard and spinach. We've already planted one lot of spinach down the allotment, perpetual spinach. This will be the second lot. And we've got some real spinach here as well. Not the beet spinach, the real spinach. So we've got a giant winter and a matador. So these were sown on the 8th of March, so they're doing really well. And they can go out into the plot in the next few weeks. Endive, planted on the 8th of March. These are doing really well. A few more weeks before they can go out, so I might have to repot a few of them. And the beetroot, I've got the Egyptian flat rooted variety and the bolt hardy. So what I'll do is I'll plant those in the module, from the module straight into the ground in batches. Give them a bit of space between them and they should develop into a nice little crop. What else we got in here? So I'm going to try and clear out this greenhouse in the next week or so. You can still use some of the leaves on the rocket, but it's going to seed now. And the spinach we'll use up as well. We've got some spinach, perpetual spinach. We like to make a what we call a spinach bake, which is, it's got loads of spinach in it, so we'll probably use up a lot of this spinach and chard. These ones are chard and they're spinaches, perpetual spinaches, so we'll try and use those up in the next couple of weeks. So that's where we are with seedlings at the moment. I'll be sowing some more seeds in the next week or so. Hopefully you've enjoyed the little tour of the seedlings. If you have, please consider subscribing or commenting or giving us a like. If you've enjoyed it, please subscribe and you can see the progress of these seedlings over the coming weeks once they start going out onto the allotment, and hopefully getting a good harvest from them, which is the objective of the game. Grow your own, eat your own. Thanks very much for watching.